There are various ways. There is the way of salvation by the law of the Buddha, the way of Confucius, governing the way of learning, the way of healing as a doctor, or as a poet, as an archer, and many arts and skills. Each man practices as he feels inclined. It is said, the warrior's is the twofold way of pen and sword, as he should have a taste for both ways. Generally speaking, the way of the warrior is resolute acceptance of death. Although not only warriors, but priests, women, peasants, and lowlier folk have been known to die readily in the cause of duty or out of shame, this is a different thing. The warrior is different in that studying the way of strategy is based on overcoming men. By victory gained in crossing swords with individuals, or in joining battle with large numbers, we can attain power and fame for ourselves or our Lord. This is the virtue of strategy. The strategist makes small things into big things, like building a great Buddha from a 1-foot model. The principle of strategy is having one thing to know 10,000 things. You must appreciate that spirit can become big or small. What is big is easy to perceive. What is small is difficult to perceive. In short, it is difficult for large numbers of men to change position, so their movements can be easily predicted. An individual can easily change his mind, so his movements are difficult to predict. When you appreciate the power of nature, knowing rhythm of any situation, you will be able to hit the enemy naturally and strike naturally. All this is the way of the void. Just as one man can beat 10, so 100 men can beat 1,000, and 1,000 can beat 10,000. The way of the warrior does not include other ways such as Confucianism, Buddhism, certain traditions, artistic accomplishments, and dancing. But even though these are not part of the way, if you know the way broadly, you will see it in everything. Men must polish their particular way. There is timing in everything. Timing in strategy cannot be mastered without a great deal of practice. Timing is important in dancing and pipe or string music, for they are in rhythm only if timing is good. Timing and rhythm are also involved in the military arts, shooting bows and guns, and riding horses. In all skills and abilities, there is timing. There is also timing in the void. There is timing in the whole life of the warrior, in his thriving and declining, in his harmony and discord. Similarly, there is timing in the way of the merchant, in the rise and fall of capital. More than anything, to start with, you must set your heart on strategy and earnestly stick to the way. You will come to be able to actually beat men in fights and to be able to win with your eye. Also by training, you will be able to freely control your own body, conquer men with your body, and with sufficient training, you will be able to beat 10 men with your spirit. Moreover, in large-scale strategy, the superior man will manage many subordinates dexterously, bear himself correctly, govern the country and foster the people, thus preserving the ruler's discipline. Both in fighting and in everyday life, you should be determined through calm. Meet the situation without tenseness, yet not recklessly. Your spirit settled, yet unbiased. Do not let your spirit be influenced by your body, or your body be influenced by your spirit. Be neither insufficiently spirited, nor over-spirited. An elevated spirit is weak, and a low spirit is weak. Do not let the enemy see your spirit. In all forms of strategy, It is necessary to maintain the combat stance in everyday life and to make your everyday stance your combat stance. The gaze should be large and broad. This is the twofold gaze, perception and sight. Perception is strong and sight weak. In strategy, it is important to see distant things as if they were close and to take a distanced view of close things. You can become a master of strategy by training alone with a sword so that you can understand the enemy's strategy, his strength and resources, and come to appreciate how to apply strategy to beat 10,000 enemies. Any man who wants to master the essence of my strategy must research diligently, training morning and evening. Thus he can polish his skill, become free from self, and realize extraordinary ability. He will come to possess miraculous power. This is the practical result of strategy.